V2, yes, we have the new fans from Lian right here, and these are UNIFAN SL120 and 140 V2 RGB fans, which come with some new kicks comparing to the V1. And we're going to break it down, and I'm going to give you all the ideas, basically what you could do with these. Because compared to any other UNIFAN fans that we had so far on the channel, these have some features that the past models don't have, and it will be quite interesting for you guys because cables, who needs cables, right? Well, you do need one, and that's it. So let's check it out. And when you assemble a build with these fans, how much cables would you need? Let's go. So to start off with general talk, just to give you some ideas, the V2 actually improves in aesthetic form, functionality and performance compared to the past and standard older version V1. We have 120 and 140 which come in black and white version, and they have the new 3+3 daisy chain cluster option to basically reduce the cables. And this is what I mentioned before. Now let's check it out. So these have 28mm of thickness, and basically they can interlock into a cluster that can be powered by a single cable and attached to the controller that comes in a triple pack, which is only for the 120 version. Now let's start with the lighting style. So for the SL fans, the V2 features I would say a more straighter and smoother finish on the edges for the side lighting, which definitely improves the overall aesthetics with cleaner lines basically. Now the distance between interlocking two fans and the RGB lights. In the past models there was 5.6 millimeters of distance between this one and the next fan. Now we have distance between this one and the next fan 3 millimeters. Now I don't think we could go even lower, maybe if it goes right to the border, but reducing the distance between makes it more aesthetically pleasing to the eye, just because it looks like a single line, I would say, because the lights do shine more than just the RGB line and kind of covers the 3mm a bit, so it does look cool. Another cool feature that the SL120 and 140 V2 have is the possibility to remove the locking parts that are on the sides where you connect to 120 fans or to 140 fans. This gives you more clearance for the radiator fittings, for instance. And we saw that in some other models as well, but this one is new for the SL120, of course. So basically you just have to twist the plastic part and pull it right out, basically having a complete clear side, and that's it. Fittings can normally go next to the fan and not giving us some troubles to basically place the fans on the radiator, being concerned about the fittings. I also mentioned that these ones are a bit thicker, so 28 millimeters of thickness. This gives us more performance, higher performance I would say, and great balance between airflow and static pressure. Basically the airflow for the SL120 V2 is 64.5 CFM, static pressure is 2.59 mm H2O, and noise at maximum speeds is 29.2 decibels. The speeds, well, it can be adjusted into, I would say, two possibilities. So you have 0 RPMs, if there isn't any load the fans don't spin, and then you can adjust it from 250 to 2000 RPMs. Also aesthetically pleasing on both sides. This is really cool because on front you have the Lian logo and normal design. At the back we have the same design, but here you have some sort of a silverish finish in the middle, so you don't have any specifications of the motor inside or the bearing or whatever. It's clean, and it doesn't matter on which side you place it, it really does look nice. When I mentioned the cluster of UNIFAN SL V2, They can be connected to the Uni hub with a single cable, and the cable at the end is designed so it kind of goes inside the fan. Now check this out. This is it. You just placed it here and there's that. So the cables are really flexible, so you can bend them on one side, on the left, depending on the orientation where you need to push the cables, or on the other. And this gives you nice clearance, or just to organize it quite nicely. Since I mentioned the cables, we have one quite longer cable. I would say this is around 40 centimeters. One cable is 4-pin PWM and the other one is for the addressable RGB. Now, if you buy a single pack and you're worried that since you didn't buy the fan kit with the hub, you get with the single pack, you get I would say some sort of a converter that you place with the on the 3-pin header right here. That isn't a standard 3-pin for addressable RGB, but this converts it to a standard 3-pin addressable RGB. So if you don't want to go with a hub, you can easily connect all of these directly to the addressable RGB on your motherboard. Gives you an option if you decide eventually to go with a hub, but you're just waiting for the stocks or something similar to that. You can always use them with this cable, and that's basically it. Since I mentioned the cables and everything, you get 4 screws inside the box and an instruction manual, which includes basically everything you need to know. Now, mentioning the cluster option, you have a possibility to connect 3+3 UNIFAN SL V2, which gives you a possibility to basically, I don't know, for instance, you place a radiator or just 3 fans on front and you want 3 fans on top. You place the 3 fans on front, you daisy chain them to the 3 fans on top, and then the top ones, or vice versa, depends on your orientation of the cables, of the fans, and where the control box or the control hub will be placed. But 3 fans on front, 3 fans on top, and then the last cable goes to your hub. So 6 fans on one cable. That's outstanding. And this is what we were always talking about when we're, I don't know, I was placing like 6 fans and I have 12 cables. Now we have 6 fans and 1 cable. If we go with the 7th at the rear, you get additional 1 cable, but that's 2 cables on 7 fans, which is just outstanding. Now I do have to mention this is slight notice, let's put it that way. Even though the hub supports on each port a cluster combination of 3+3, if you go with 3+3, you can go up to maximum of 16 fans. So basically what you could do is 3 on front, 3 on top, 3 on the power supply shroud if you're going with Lancool 3 for instance, and 1 at the rear. Now it would be a bit tricky to combine the bottom on the power supply shroud, 3 fans and 1 at the rear. So what you could do is 3 on the power supply shroud, 3 on front, that's 6, and 3 on top and 1 at the back, that's 4, that's 10. I mean, you can place more if you don't go with the push-pull combination on the radiator, but this is how I would do it, and this is what might give you an idea how to place the fans in that particular case. But 16 fans maximum, even though each port supports 3+3 cluster daisy chain combination for the SL V2 fans. Now talking about the L Connect, so it has been updated to fully utilize the new daisy chain functionality of the SL V2 and of course their performance capabilities. You can adjust the speeds, as I already say, 0 RPM or 252 to 2000 RPMs. It also depends, you can adjust everything because they have the start-stop functionality. Lighting-wise, the UNIFAN SL V2 can support new effects. I won't repeat the other ones which you could check out in my past SL video, but we have render, tunnel, voice and groove. And for the bridged cluster with options for 2 new merging lighting effects, tight, mixing, meteor and runaway. And in those terms, I would say we actually do have a V2 version, finally, from some products that are upgraded, and then you have V1, V2, and you're just considering what's the difference. The 3+3 daisy chain is an outstanding feature which I haven't seen in any fans so far, and this gives us an option to really do it quite nicely and organized, and big thumbs up to Lian. Taking into consideration all the other fans when we're talking about cable management and stuff like that, I would give UNIFAN SL 120 and 140 V2 PC Crazy approved badge, first of all. And the second one I would give a PC Crazy creative badge, because they're constantly improving their fans. Not only with better performance, better airflow, better static pressure, because these can be used in standard PC or they can be used on radiator cooling. So they are also improving the features, which is outstanding. So this is why PC Crazy approved badge and PC Crazy creative badge, without a doubt. So guys, I'll place the links below when they are available, which will be quite shortly, and you can check out the prices and all the details. And that's basically it for today. Hope you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed watching and learning new stuff from their fans. And don't forget to subscribe if you did. So hopefully I will see you next time in another video, which will be quite interesting. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.